What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 59. We started today's stuff on the back of our goalless draw at the new camp. Whilst it has just been the one win in our last 4 games, well, we're still only one win away from the Premier League title, and we've made the Europa League final as well. Yes, after our win at Goodison Park in the first leg, that goalless draw is enough to see us through to our first European final of the sale, where we'll take on AS Roma. And despite the loss at Stamford Bridge, we were still just one win away from being crowned Premier League champion. So I said it in the last episode on the back of the loss at Stamford Bridge, I wasn't worried. There were going to be 3 other opportunities to do it, and I wanted to do it in this one. Our first of the final 3, the final home game of the season. Spurs at Goodison Park, taking on Tottenham, and heading into the game, the Z-Cars theme song being blared out. I have to say, I've never been to Goodison myself, and I'm gutted about it. It's such an iconic old ground, but Toffees fans, you can tell me whether this is true or not. The hairs on the back of your neck must stand up when that Z-Cars theme song gets blared out and the players walk out onto the pitch for surely a massive game. I can imagine the Crystal Palace game last year where you survived coming back from 2-0 down to win 3-2. I'd imagine before that game, knowing what was at stake, when that Z-Cars theme got blared out, that must have been just goosebumps, surely, right? But heading into the game, this time around, it's not for Premier League safety, but for the Premier League itself. Yep, taking on Spurs on the back of the draw there against Barcelona. No wins in our last 2 games, but back at Goodison, last time we were here, we beat Xavi's side, and now taking on Tottenham to win that will give us the championship. Were there nerves? Absolutely. I'd done quite well in the first half. I had some good chances. I missed a sitter with Lukaku, free header 8 yards out, and somehow missed a target. I hit the crossbar with him as well. But I just kept reminding myself, it's okay, like keep it calm, because even if you don't win this game, you'll still have 2 other chances to do it. And the teams below you still need to win 3 straight anyway. So you can still do it without winning any of the 3. So just keep it calm. If you get a good chance, take it. But otherwise, don't force it. So as I look for what we call a clear-cut chance early on in the second half, I finally got one. And this time I took it. I missed a sitter with him in the first half. But 11 minutes after the restart, Super Rom Lukaku, 23rd goal of the season. And I knew at that point there, I just knew it was going to be Everton's title. If not today, then at some point at the end of the season, and it was definitely going to be ours. It was not going to be the worst collapse of all time. We were not going to throw this away, needing just 1 win in our last 4 games, and I wanted to hold on to this one. Spurs did hit the post soon afterwards, trying to spoil the party here at Goodison as the woodwork was rattled, but after a great save kept it at 1-0 here, the clock would run out eventually, and Everton were Premier League champions, and it is done. And I talked in the last episode about how, like, sometimes the situation specific moments don't happen, and you would have seen in the last episode I got asked whether I was feeling the pressure about needing 1 win to qualify for the Champions League, when actually just 1 win would have seen us Premier League champions. Did you see it full time there? The fans have their hands on their head because I just missed a good chance. We just won the Premier League! Like, seriously! Those are the moments that break away the immersion that really, really frustrate me, and the EA do need to look into to make it more realistic. But even so, that win would do it. We only needed 1 in our last 4 Premier League games to be champions. I knew we were going to do it, and yes, we slipped up to Brentford. Yes, we slipped up to Leeds. Yes, we lost at Stamford Bridge. But I knew we were going to get it done at some point. We weren't going to fail to win any of our last 7 Premier League games. Surely not, or 6 I should say. But there we go, as Pickford lifts it aloft. Everton are Premier League champions, and absolutely buzzing with it as well, because there's no doubt about it, this season really does draw parallels to Arsenal's season in real life as well, going for their first Premier League title in almost 2 decades under Mikel Arteta, young manager who's not been there for a long time but has allowed a core to gel, that's been through some really tough moments but have now risen to become one of the best and strongest teams in the country. It really does draw a lot of parallels to Arsenal's season in real life as well, so I quite like that too. It's kind of mirroring what we're seeing in real life of Arsenal, what we see here with the Toffees. We've really grown up as a team. What I like as well is that with this team, it's not a completely new set of players. Like, yeah, of course, don't get me wrong, we made loads and loads of signings and loads of key signs as well, bringing back Lukaku, Hudson-Odoi, Conor Gallagher, and so on and so forth. But the man lifting the trophy, he was here when we joined, Jordan Pickford. my best defender, whilst he's injured right now and out for the rest of the season, is Ben Godfrey. I love the little glitch there as well, with the players doing the interesting pose in the corner flag there. But, you know, we still have Amadou Onana, massive key part of our squad. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, my backup striker. We still got a lot of the players here. Michaelenko is still our starting left back. Nathan Patterson, our starting right back. So I really like how, and as you see here, the post-match interview saying that we fell short of winning the title on the final day. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We got the one win. It's done. We're 7 clear of Man City and Chelsea with 2 games away. They can't catch us. Mathematically, it's done. It's guaranteed. Things like that really wind me up with EA. It's like, it's such a simple fix. And it's been like this for so many years. Like such a simple issue they can fix. And it really breaks away from the realism and the immersion. I know I'm getting a little bit agitated, but it's just because it's just such a simple fix. You can fix it in 5 minutes. You can fix it in 5 minutes. Oh man, it really frustrates me. But yeah, I really like that. You know, whilst we have sold a lot of players, whilst we have changed a lot of the squad, there's still a large section of players that we inherited with Everton that are still here, and again, many of which playing key roles in our first team as well. So yeah, Everton Premier League champions, absolutely buzzing. And to let you guys behind the curtain as well, I actually did that Spurs game live. The plan was, following on from the last episode, was to do this episode live. But after I won it 1-0, it was like, well, what do I do for the other 2 games? Like, seriously, because you know I'm going to play them, because I don't simulate really any games at all, apart from friendlies and non-competitive games. I always say this, like, it's a personal preference, like, whether you sim or you don't, it's up to you. Like, I don't like gatekeeping in any community, and if you play them, that's fine. If you sim them, that's fine. It's totally up to you. It's personal preference, but I like to play the games anyway. But even so, what was I going to do? There was nothing riding on these final 2 games, absolutely nothing whatsoever, so I didn't really know what to do. Like, after I'd finished the Spurs game, and I was talking about the championship after I showed you the highlights there, I remember I was going back to the league table, and I was like, so there's 2 games, guys, and I didn't really know what to do, so in the end I thought, you know what, sod it, because it was quite anticlimactic. We won it by a goal to 0. I might as well just record in post. But anyway, we won the following game as well, our penultimate game of the season, 2-0 win away on the South Coast against Southampton, and as you can see, 7-point gap heading into the final day. Quite an anticlimactic final day. Championship set, top 4 set, pretty much the 5th, 6th and 7th places set. The only thing to be decided was who was going down. Aston Villa already relegated, but Leeds, Southampton and Watford could all go down on the final day. Only one team would survive out of the 3. Haaland was 1 goal clear of Matheus Cunha and I believe 3 clear of Lukaku on the final day, and Pickford had already wrapped up the Golden Glove. He'd also won the assist title at that point. Surely Lukaku wasn't going to get caught at that point with 19. But really, again, other than the relegation race, it was quite an anticlimactic final day. Unlike last year, where if you remember, obviously Man City won the title coming from behind to beat Arsenal on the final day. Nothing like that this year. No, Premier League champions Everton, top 4 set, 5th, 6th, 7th. I think they'd all been set as well. It was just about the bottom 3, or I should say the bottom 2. Well, not the bottom 2, but the 2 above the bottom place, if that makes sense. Anyway, so yeah, the final game, it was actually 3 days before the Europa League final. The Europa League final came on Wednesday night, so I thought, thank goodness we've won the Spurs game, because it means that for this one here, away at Old Trafford, I can just rotate my entire side. The Europa League finals on Wednesday night. It's 3 days after this one. I'm not even going to play a single one of my starters, and my bench boys are going to get taken off about halfway through the game as well. So unsurprisingly, with a really weak side out there, we were 2-0 down. Marcus Rashford had scored the first, Vitinha about the second, and we were getting torn apart quite comfortably by Erik ten Hag's side. There was nothing really to play for either side. So again, the key for me was just making sure no one got injured with the Europa League final on Wednesday. But despite being 2-0 down, the story of this season has been all about resilience and coming from behind to claim points. Well, with our backup side, 2-0 down, Ellis Sims said, "Gaffer, I know you're going to start Lukaku in the Europa League final, DCL will be on the bench, but is there room for me?" Because Ellis Sims bagged a brace in like 8 minutes in the second half to battle us back from 2-0 down to make it 2-2. I did not see that coming. With 10 minutes to go, clinging on to a point, not that it was going to matter anyway. Vitinha rolls it across, and from 6 yards out, the Red Devils get their third. Final score, Manchester United 3, Everton 2. Great comeback with our backup side from 2-0 down, but in the end it counted for absolutely nothing. Not that it mattered, of course, in the end either. Final score 3-2. Whilst we do lose the final day, only 3 wins in our last 8 games in all competitions. I'm not too worried about that. Everton are Premier League champions. Finished 4 clear of Manchester City, as Manchester United and Chelsea did indeed already wrap up the top 4. Spurs in 5th, Arsenal in 6th, and Liverpool in 7th. Like I said, really anticlimactic final day. But as the bottom 3, for those curious who went down and joined Aston Villa, well, in the end, Leeds did indeed keep themselves up. The Saints and Hornets will join Aston Villa in the Championship next year. Haaland, Golden Boot winner, shot scorer. Lukaku, back-to-back assist titles, and Pickford, back-to-back Golden Gloves winners. But after an amazing season for Everton, the question is now, can we put the cherry on the top of the cake? We've got the Europa League final. It'll come in the next episode. We take on AS Roma, looking to wrap up an already magical season by winning the Premier League with a league and European double, as I go for my first European honour since joining Everton. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love to you all, and I will see you for the next episode on the Realistic Career Mode, the season finale, episode 16, the Europa League final versus Roma, as we go for a double very soon.